Hey there, it's Matt Fraser, the psychic medium, and I am live right now. So come on in. I want to talk to you about survivor's guilt. Now, this is something that so many people go through. In fact, you may have gone through it without even realizing it. Survivor's guilt is the hurt and the pain that you feel after a loved one passes away, especially if that person passed suddenly, unexpectedly, or if they were particularly close to you and you felt like you could have helped them in some way. I've seen survivor's guilt happen in so many different ways. I've seen it happen where somebody feels survivor's guilt because someone younger passes before them. For example, you might have, someone younger passes before them. Sorry, my mind went to a different place right there. For example, let's say that you had a little brother and your little brother passes away before you do, right? Leaving you with survivor's guilt. Why is he the one that's to pass away? How come he was 10 years younger than I am? How come he had to go, right? Survivor's guilt also affects us when it's someone that's close to us, and maybe we feel responsible for their passing. Maybe we saw it coming before they did. Maybe we knew that they were going to pass in this way. Maybe we even warned them, right? And unfortunately, they pass away and their guilt was left with us, or their pain was left with us. But I want to talk to you guys all about this because this is something that I see every single day as a psychic medium. And I also want to share with you what Spirit shares with me. So first of all, I want to say hello to all of you because I see all of you guys tuning in right here. I see Gina Smith is here from Arkansas. I also see Trinette Miller is here from Idaho. Hello, hello. I also see Melissa is here and Tina is here and Madonna is here as well. And I also see Juanette is here. She says, so much guilt and two different deaths in my life. I'm so sorry about that, but I'm glad you're here because we're going to talk all about it. And I also see that Annette is here from Orlando. And I see that, who else is here? Oh, Mark is here. Hey, Mark. I see all of you guys here right now. So share the live. Let's get started and talk about this. So survivor's guilt. You guys, I can't tell you how much the guilt after a loved one passes away really sits with us. You know, it's really tough because when we lose a loved one here in this world, it sits right here. It sits right on our heart. When we lose a loved one, it is the hardest thing that we can ever go through here in this world. And automatically, as humans, when you lose a loved one, you go back, right? You go over their passing. You think about their passing. You're thinking about it again and again and again. Maybe it is that you feel survivor's guilt because you feel like you should have saw the warning signs. You should have known that this was going to happen. You should have known that your mom was going to pass in this way, or that your husband was going to pass in this way, or your son or your daughter was going to pass in this way, right? Because the thing is that as humans, when we love someone so much, we feel a natural bond to want to protect them, right? Whether it's your son, whether it's your daughter, whether it's your husband, your best friend, your mom, or your dad, it doesn't matter. You naturally want to protect the people that are closest to you. And how many times is it that we see someone going through something, we try to help them, but they don't take our advice? And this is the saddest thing, especially when someone passes away, right? For example, there was this girl that I was reading for, and her boyfriend here in this world had come to her. And when he had come to her and they started a relationship with one another, he had always suffered from anxiety, depression, guilt, pain, all of these things. And doesn't matter, she loved him anyway. But when he came into her life, his problems became her problems, and she started to work through his anxiety with him, work through his depression with him, work through all of these thoughts and emotions that he was going through, right? She tried to help him to heal. And when she tried to help him to heal, right, what was so sad was that she got pulled in too. She started to feel the same pain that he was going through, the same emotions, the same depression, the same hurt, all of those things. And unfortunately, they had separated and he had passed away. And when he had passed away, she automatically felt like it was her fault. Well, what I want you guys to know is this is a reading that I just recently did not too long ago. I actually posted the reading right on Facebook and YouTube and my social media pages. I'm going to share the reading with you because there's something that we can all learn from that, right? And that is that sometimes our loved ones make decisions here in this world and they don't make the right decisions, right? And we know this. But the thing is that we have to remember that our loved ones live their own life. And the thing is that at the end of the day, we can love our loved ones, support our loved ones, disagree with our loved ones, but they're making their own decisions. They're living their own life. How many times have I seen it happen with survivor's guilt in my own family, where certain family members were so upset after a loved one's passing because maybe they felt that loved one should have went in for a surgery, should have gone in and got a certain treatment, should have taken better care of their health, but the person never did. right? I can tell you that's happened so many times within my family. Happens with my own grandmother. With my own grandmother, but my grandmother, she was stubborn, stubborn, stubborn here in this world. She went to the doctors, and I'm going to share with you this because this is from my life, and I know that this is going to hit home, and I know that this is something that you're really going to have to hear. So my grandmother, the psychic one, when she was passing away, well, excuse me, before she was passing away, years and years and years ago, 20 years before my grandmother passed away, she went to the doctors and she had cancer. It was the size of a pea, you guys. And the doctor said, "Oh my God, you have cancer." He says, "But don't worry, it's the size of a pea. Like, you're going to be fine. We're going to take care of this. All you need to go in is for a simple procedure. It was breast cancer. We're going to take care of this. You're going to be fine. You're going to be able to live your life." My grandmother said, "Absolutely not. I will not go in for a surgery. I will not go in for any type of procedure. I'm not going in for it." And it was sad because my grandmother had, other things going on. She was afraid of doctors. She was afraid of medications. She was afraid of hospitals. And also at the same time, she was afraid of the cost. Well, don't you know that the doctor said, if you leave this office, you're going to die. But if you go in for the surgery, we can save you. Well, don't you know that my grandmother said, "That's fine. I'll be dead next time you're talking to me because I'm not coming back." That's how stubborn my grandmother was. So, guys, she left the doctor's office, and my grandmother lived 21 years with cancer. Because, like I said, when they found it, it was the size of a pea. It was a very slow moving cancer. Thank God, she lived, I think it was 21, 22 years with cancer, if not longer, and I got to meet her. I was only a little boy, but I got to meet her. My mom got to have these amazing memories with her. But every day my mom was scared. Every day my mom was living in guilt and pain, saying, "Oh my God, my mother, is today going to be the day she's going to die? Oh my God." For 21 years, guys, my mom lived with so much hurt and pain, trying to force my grandmother to go to the doctors, to go get checked out again. After she got that cancer diagnosis, she never went back. And don't you know that when she had passed away, it all hit my mom. My mom felt such survivor's guilt because my mom just was like, why didn't she go in for the surgery? If she went in for the surgery 21 years ago, my mom would still be here. My mom would still be living. She'd be able to see my son. She'd be able to see my daughter. She'd be able to see all of these things that she's missing out on right now. So that was something that happened in my life. And it took a really long time, for my mom to be able to heal from that. Even though this was my grandmother's decision, even though at the end of the day, my grandmother made her own decisions, was capable of making her own decisions. My mom knew that there was no way that she could force her to go. My mom even got other people. She got neighbors who were in the healthcare profession to come and sit with my grandmother, talk to her. And my grandmother made it clear her decision was final. That was it, right? But the point I'm trying to make is that pain still lives with my mom. Even though my mom, tried for 21 years to get my grandmother in for that surgery, at the end of the day, when she lost her mother, it sat with her. And it sat with her, with my whole family. My whole family was like, why didn't she just go? Well, this happens to us every single day. And I can tell you that that's the saddest thing, that I can tell you. And Karen Wilburn says, "Matt, my doctor said breast cancer grows fast and kills within 4 months if not treated." I'll tell you that some breast cancers do, right? It all depends on the type of breast cancer that you have. And I'll tell you something, my mom, things sometimes work in a silver lining, right? And you don't realize it later on. So later on in life, right, years after my grandmother's passing, my mom was also diagnosed with breast cancer. My mom is a breast cancer survivor. Thank God. I thank God every single day for that. And don't you know that when my mom went in, my mom was so afraid of getting the surgery. But because of what happened and what she saw my grandmother went through, my mom ended up going in for the surgery. But when they found out what type of breast cancer that my mom had, it was the same type as my grandmother's. It was a very slow moving cancer. Thank God. And it was actually a different type of cancer that did not respond to chemotherapy or anything like that. The only way to treat it was to get it removed, which my mother did. And thankfully, she's living cancer-free to this day. I thank God every single day for that. But anyways, I want to let you guys know this, that, I remember when my mom first got diagnosed and she went to the hospital and, they said to her, "Don't worry, the breast cancer that you have is very slow moving." Right away, I remember it was like a weight being lifted off of us because we were like, oh, we know it's slow moving because my grandmother, her mom, lived for 21 years with it, right? Which is still remarkable to this day. I can't believe. Now, because my grandma lived in 21 years does not mean that she didn't suffer with it. My grandmother is spread to every single part of her body. But what I can tell you is, she was very lucky by the grace of God that she got those years. But anyway, what I want you guys to know is that at the end of the day, all we can do when we have those certain situations that happen with survivor's guilt is remember that it was our loved one's decision, right? We gave them the opportunity. We put the options in front of them. We told them again and again that, they had the power to change this. And it's them who has to make the decision on whether they will or whether they won't. And the saddest thing is that when your loved ones go to the other side, let's talk about this from the spirit perspective. When your loved ones go to the other side, they don't see it the same way that we do, right? When they go to the other side and they see this right away, when they see how much pain we're in, how much guilt we're in, how much we're suffering, they want to come back and they want to take that pain and that guilt away from us. That's the one thing that they wish that they could do. They wish that they could go and just come back and take away the pain, take away the hurt, take away all of those things that, we feel on the inside. And it's sad because after they pass, they really can't. But what I can tell you is that they have been able to do it through certain readings. And even when I say that they can't do it, I mean that nobody can take our pain away from us. It's something that we as humans have to work towards. And what I can tell you is that when we have survivor's guilt, it's important to go back and to look back on your relationship with your loved one, right? Did you present the options in front of them? Did they have warning signs? Meaning, were there signs in their life that they could have changed their path, changed the way that they were living life, changed what they were doing, right? Did you warn them about them? Did you try to talk to them through it? What did you do? And if you look back and you see all the ways you tried to help them, then know that pain should not live with you, right? And sometimes we're seeing just a small picture. For example, this woman that I read for who had lost her boyfriend. When I was reading for her, her boyfriend spent years battling depression, anxiety, all of these terrible, terrible things. They got into a relationship with one another. And, she thought that she was helping him through all of these things when really he was going through this before they had even got together. Before they had even got together, he was going through this battle. So I want to share with you guys this reading that I just recently did. I just posted it today. It happened during one of my online group reading events. And it has to do with survivor's guilt because this young woman's boyfriend came through to tell her that he was sorry and more importantly, to take responsibility. What I say all the time is that the dead don't lie, right? Sometimes here in this world, they do, right? Sometimes we all know a loved one who lies about certain health conditions, that lie and say that they're fine, that tell you that they're doing the right thing when they're not, right? We've all seen this happen. But the thing is this. What is Kathleen saying? Kathleen saying this is a recording right now? I'm live right now, Kathleen. What the hell? So what I want you guys to know is that at the end of the day, I love that. I love when people come on here and they're like, is this live? Matt, can you really see me right now? Yes, I can see you. What I want you guys to know is this, is that when it comes to the other side, when it comes to the spirit world, your loved ones on the other side want one thing. They want to leave this world and they want you to be at peace because they're at peace on the other side. And when you feel like the conversation isn't ended when a loved one passes away, it's because it's not. So I want to share with you this reading. This is a reading that I did for this woman not too long ago. It was something that was that really touched my heart. And I learned a lot from this reading about survivor's guilt. And I think you will as well. So take a look at this reading. Let me know what you think. Side of me, okay? And he's smoking this till he smoke. All I smell is marijuana on the other side. And he was so dumb. He used to try to hide this with cologne when I'm connected with him. There's a soul that's here, that's coming through, that's telling me if there was questions over suicide or if there was an addiction involved.
I think that's my boyfriend.
I believe it is. So first of all, he's been trying to reach you. This was just a recent passing when I'm connecting with him.
Yeah.
How long ago did he pass?
4 months.
That would be why. I always know when it's a recent passing because they don't communicate like older souls. Is that sometimes they're very aggressive and pushy. And he was here right on the side of me saying, I have to come through. I have to come through. And he keeps saying to me, I didn't mean to do this. I didn't mean to do this. So first of all, I have to tell you, your boyfriend is here. I first of all have to prepare you because this is a very emotional reading when I'm connecting with him. Because I know that you knew that he was having major issues here in this world. I know that you knew he was having anxiety. I know that you knew that he was depressed. And I also know at the same time that you were trying to help him as best you could here in this world. He's telling me I don't want her to feel responsible because he keeps whispering about survivor's guilt in my ear. And he tells me that since his passing, that you keep feeling that for some reason this was your fault and you should have known that this was going to happen. He tells me, Matt, please tell her that I'm here to set the record clear. He's being so aggressive with me right now. And he's doing this for one reason. He's doing this for you. Because he's saying to me, and it's very rare that a spirit does this. He goes, Matt, you tell her exactly what I'm saying. He goes, and I need you to tell her exactly word for word. He says, what I'm going to tell you. And he says, because I need her to believe this. And he just told me, he goes, Matt, you need to let her know that these problems that I had came long before we were in a relationship with one another. He tells me just like this. He goes, Matt, when I met her, I was broken. He tells me, he says to me, I had issues with my anxiety. I had issues with my moods. He says, I was depressed. And she was like the light at the end of the tunnel. He says, when I met her, he says, I told her every single day when we first met how much she changed my life and how happy I was with her. And Matt, I gotta be honest with you. He says, when I first met her, I couldn't believe that there was a person like this for me. He says, because you allowed him to be happy. You didn't judge him. You embraced him with open arms. And it wasn't just you, it was your family as well. And he wants to thank you and your family for all that you had done for him. And is this your mom? First of all, can I please tell you that he's stepping forward for you as well? Because I know how upset you are with him. And I know that you're feeling so upset because you have to watch your daughter go through so much pain every single day. And more importantly, she did nothing but try to help him here in this world. But he says to me, Matt, you thought as his girlfriend that you could have fixed him here in this world. But he's telling me he was lying to you. I'm going to be honest with you. In the beginning, you could have, and you did. But there was something else that was here. Because, and correct me if I'm wrong, because he's telling me, he shows me the two of you being together and loving one another and having fun and all of these things that you used to do, because he talks about this love of music that the two of you had. He tells me the two of you were very artsy with one another here in this world, because he shows me like paintings and drawings and these things that the two of you used to look at.
I have his paintings in my room. We did paintings together.
He tells me. But then all of a sudden there was this change with him. And it's like, no matter what you did, you couldn't reach him. Do you know he's telling me that the reason why you couldn't get through to him, the reason why you couldn't reach him was because of the fact that there were other things involved. There were drugs involved in his passing. So no matter what you did, no matter if you took his head and you shook it, there was no way that you were going to get through to him because there was that block that was there. He was taking things and doing things that you didn't know about until after he died. Now listen, I know that you knew that he messed around with things here in this world, because when I'm here with him, he's on the side of me, okay? And he's smoking this silly smoke. All I smell is marijuana on the other side when I'm connected with him. And he reeks of it. And he was so dumb that he used to try to hide this with cologne when I'm connected with him. I keep smelling him with all of this. You know what's so funny? You're gonna think I'm crazy, but I tell you everything that he's telling me. He's on the side of me saying to me, Matt, I didn't think anybody knew I smoked weed, he goes to me. And I go, are you kidding me? He's got the Adidas, you know, how do you say the I say Adidas, but the Adidas shirt on with the weed symbol.
She has this thing with a big weed symbol like on her ceiling in her bedroom.
Shut the hell up. That's crazy. Because he goes to me, Matt, I didn't think anybody knew. I go, didn't think anybody knew. You're representing it. It's like a freaking flag. So please know that that's his way of acknowledging that, you know, you knew that he was into those things here in this world, but you didn't know how bad it had gotten. And he kept that away from you. And that's one of the things that I need you to know, because I'm going to be honest with you. Okay. And this is a really hard message to deliver. And that is that he tells me that he loved you unconditionally here in this world. He did. He says, but at the same time, Matt, I was very selfish. He says, and I didn't give her what she needed. She was always giving to me, doing for me. He says she worried about me every single day, to the point where sometimes you lost out on your friends. You lost out on leaving your house. You lost out on doing all of these things because you didn't want to leave him. And I'm going to tell you something that you're not going to like. You're going to hate me for it. But at the end of the day, you know, you pay me to tell you the truth, to deliver what spirit has me say. So I hope you're not going to be mad at what I have to tell you.
I could never hate you, Matt.
Well, listen, I hope so. I hope not. Because some people get very mad, but I know it's what's going to help you to heal, because he's telling me this. And he says to me, Matt, please tell her that I didn't deserve her. He says, and please tell her there is somebody out there for her. He says, someone that's going to love her. He says, and give to her more than I ever could here in this world. And I don't want her to block her life. And I don't want her to stop her life because she had this bad experience with me. He says, did we love one another? Absolutely. He says, but I would have never been able to be the person that you need in your life, meaning somebody that is going to be a husband to you, somebody that's going to have a family with you, someone that's going to be able to take care of you, someone that's going to be able to hold down a job, someone that you're going to be able to grow old with. He says, I could never be that person. So the one thing that he wants to let you know is this, because he hears you calling him your soulmate all the time and saying that we were soulmates. And I'm going to be very, very honest with you. From what he's telling me, he says, Matt, we loved one another. He says, but her soulmate is still meant to be found. And that's something that I need you to know, because I know that that hurts. And I feel the pain just telling you that, because I know that that's not what you want to hear. But at the same time, he's telling me, will he always love you? Absolutely. Is he there and watching over you? Absolutely. Till one day you pass, he'll be there. You'll always feel him. He'll always be a part of you. But he needs you to know this, because he also sees you holding yourself back. And he doesn't want you to stop yourself from loving again because of that chapter that you had with him. Because at the end of the day, if there was one person that could save him from death here in this world, you were the last hope. Because before he met you, he's being very honest with me. He actually thought about doing this before. He thought about suicide. He had all these thoughts, he's telling me. So know that you came in and you showed him that love was possible. You are what he needed in his life at that time to be able to start to heal. And he did. He healed for a little bit. But at the end of the day, you can't change a person's life. Solely you. It's going to be on both sides. And you were there to help him. You were there to save him. And it was up to him to do the rest of the work, and he didn't. So he's coming through for one reason, because he needs, and he's hitting me over the head, like literally making me tell you all these things, because he needs you. The moment that this reading ends, he needs you to know without a doubt that you are not responsible. And he needs you to know without a doubt that he's okay, that he's at peace, and that he's back within his right mind. So please know that his love for you is eternal, and he knows how much you love him as well. He says, but Matt, I love her too much to watch her suffer here in this world. I love her too much to see her be alone. He says, so the same way that he had to work on his life, he tells me that there's a lot that you have to do. And I'm going to tell you, he's giving me this checklist. He's telling me, Matt, I want her to reconnect with her old friends. He says, I want her to get her old life back. He's telling me this. He says, and I want you to get back to your dreams. And listen, doesn't mean it has to start tomorrow. You're in grief. I can feel the grief that you're going through. Listen, you were with them for a long time. That grief and that pain is going to sit with you for a little while. It's not going to be something that you have to do. But I will tell you, this is something that you're always going to remember. And I know that anytime that you're feeling that grief or that pain, you're going to think back to this reading and what he told you today. I will be honest with you. He shows me later on in the future, I do see a ring being put on your finger. So when I see that, that means that you will be able to restart your life in the best way possible. And it's not because he's telling you to, it's because at that moment, you're going to be healed and you're going to want to. Like I says, I know that these are not things that you wanted to hear, but I have to tell you what he's telling me. And he's telling this for one reason, because he wants to thank you for being the angel that you were within his life. So doesn't mean you take his pictures down, doesn't mean that you do anything different in terms of the way that you miss him and love him. It just means that the only thing that you change is you and the way that you navigate through life. All right. I really hope that this helped you. So you guys, that was one of the online readings. If you are just tuning in, that was an online reading that I did. So a lot of people see these videos and they think they're private readings. They're actually not. Though that mom and daughter only paid $19 and attended an online reading with me. So what I want you guys to know is that if you'd like an online reading just like that one, you can get one on my website, meetmattfraser.com. The only thing is August is sold out. And guys, there's only 2 online readings left in September 23rd and September 24th. And then I'm not doing any other readings in September. Everything else is sold out. So if you'd like to reserve your spot, just go to meetmattfraser.com. But I wanted to talk about this reading because survivor's guilt is real, you guys. It's something that we feel after losing a loved one, especially if we feel in any way that we could prevent their passing. If we feel like we could have known, we should have known, we could have stopped them from doing something differently. If we feel like they made the wrong decision, for some reason we could have stopped them, right? But what was amazing is that how her boyfriend came through from the other side to do one thing, to make sure that she didn't stop her life because of his passing, that she still went to find her soulmate, that she reconnected with her old friends. And I love that reading so much because her boyfriend gave her so many steps to do to get her life back. He was like, okay, listen, I may have passed. Okay, this happened. I'm taking responsibility, but I need you to do this. I need you to find your soulmate. I need you to reconnect with your old friends. I need you to be that person that once loved me so the world can see this, right? And I got to tell you guys, this is something that I see every day with your loved ones in spirit. If you feel like someone died, and you didn't get to have a final conversation with them, if you feel like the conversation is still unfinished, it's because it is. And you're feeling that way because someone in spirit is also trying to get a message to you. You know, what's really tough is that when you're feeling unresolved here in this world, your loved ones in spirit try to come back to you with signs. They'll send you signs that make you feel them or make you know that they're there. Maybe you feel weird things in the house. Maybe it is that you see weird things happening, like numbers repeating, songs repeating, weird feelings, like all of a sudden feeling like they're going to be in the house with you, or feeling like you're going somewhere and you're going to see someone that reminds you of them, right? These are not just feelings. They're little messages that your loved ones are sending you. Signs like dragonflies, butterflies, seeing license plates that remind you of a loved one, right? Or weird things that happen, like all of a sudden looking at a TV show and maybe the people in the TV show are the same names of certain family members that you love or are remembering at the time, right? There are no such thing as coincidences. Coincidences just don't happen, at least not in my world. But what I can tell you is that with the pain that I see every single day is that our loved ones on the other side can see your life, right? They're at peace. They left behind their illness. They left behind their mental illness. They left behind any of the things that held them back here in this world. But we're still going through the pain here in this world, even though they left it behind. And when your loved ones get to the other side, their one wish is for you to leave the pain that you feel with their passing behind. They don't want you to forget about them, right? They don't want you to stop thinking about them. They don't want you to let go. But what they do want is for you to let go of the hurt, the pain, the sadness, and that heaviness that you keep feeling in your chest. And sometimes the only way that you can do that is by getting back in touch with them, by speaking to them, and by resolving the past. So what I want you to know is that I'm here for you and I'm open. And if you would like a message from your loved one, just like she got, I want you guys to know that August is completely sold out for online readings. I'm sad to say. September is completely sold out except for 2 dates, you guys. I have 2 dates left in September. If you would like an online reading just like that one, I have September 23rd and September 22nd and September 23rd available right now. And then I'm going back out on the road. So here's where I'm coming. All right. If you guys would like to see me live in person, I just announced some new tour dates. I am coming to Moncton, Canada. Then I'm coming to Harris, Michigan. I'm coming to Omaha, Nebraska, Kansas City, Missouri. If you haven't seen my website, Laughlin, Nevada, Santa Rosa, California, and Sacramento, California. All the dates are up on my website, meetmattfraser.com. Or if you'd like to go and attend a live online reading from home, that's where you guys attend. I see you, just like I saw that mom and that daughter, and I read for as many people as possible. You can do that for just $19. You don't need a Zoom subscription. You don't need any fancy technology. Most people just use their cell phones to attend. So if you'd like to attend, I can only allow a limited amount of people. Like I said, September is all sold out except for 2 dates. September 23rd and September 24th, but I can only allow a limited amount of people. So if you'd like to join me for a live online reading, just visit meetmattfraser.com. But in the meantime, what I want you to know is that there's a way that you can also resolve conversations with your loved ones. If you feel like you didn't get to say goodbye, if you feel like you didn't get to say something to your loved one, say it now. You can say it out loud. You can say it in your head. You can write it down on paper. Because what the spirit world has shared with me is that there is always a time when you can say goodbye. There is always a time when you personally can get a message to your loved one. Energy travels. And if there's one thing that I can tell you when I'm doing the readings is I love when I'm connecting with your loved ones on the other side and they come through and they validate certain things. For example, I remember that I was doing this reading for this man who had lost his wife, and his wife was saying, his wife was saying, oh my God, I can't believe that my husband still goes and decorates the house like I do. And I said that to him. I said, oh, your wife is here. And she's saying that she wants to thank you for taking down the curtains and for, changing the bedspreads and for decorating the house with every season like she did. And he goes, oh my God, Matt, I can't believe she heard me. He's like, every single season, he goes, I changed the bed, I changed the curtains. He goes, and I say to my wife, I'm doing this for you, honey. I'm doing this for you, honey, because you used to do this. I'm doing this, to honor you in heaven because I know that this would make you happy. And he would laugh about this and do this. Little did he know his wife was listening, right? Your loved ones are listening too. When you think a message or say a message, they hear you at any given moment. What makes me different as a medium, the only thing that makes me different is I get to say conversations back from your loved ones. So what I want you guys to know is that, like I said, if you would like a reading like that, that mom and daughter, if there's someone that you feel unresolved with that you would like to connect with, I really hope to see you at the next online reading because that's the people who need to attend, the people who didn't get to say goodbye, the people who have that hurt and pain, because I know that one message from a loved one in spirit can help in so many ways. So that being said, I just wanted to personally come on here because I sent an email today giving you the last online readings in September. There's only September 22nd, September 23rd available. So I think those are the dates, right? So if you'd like to reserve, just go to meetmattfraser.com. And that being said, I can't wait to help you connect with your loved ones in spirit. But I really hope that that message today that I just shared really helps you in some way. And I hope that it helps to remind you that your loved ones are always there and they want to see you happy despite the ways that they passed away. Because remember, no one is mad in heaven and there's no cemeteries in heaven because nobody ever dies, right? But what your loved ones are more concerned about is watching over you, making sure that you're okay and making sure that everything that happens in your life, you know that they're watching over from up above. So I hope that reading helped you. I am so excited. I am back on tour for a couple weeks. I will be doing some more lives on here, which I'm so excited about. And like I said, I'm back to do some online readings as well. So I hope you'll take advantage. And that being said, I want to thank all of you guys who came to see me live on tour and for being here on Facebook and YouTube with me and TikTok and all my social media. I love seeing you guys so much. And I hope this video helps you.